Hi everyone, my name is Corey Dow and I'm a technical marketing engineer for HP Aruba Networking in the campus switching group. And today we're going to introduce a new feature that we've applied for the 10.14 release, which is basically an ACL that can now be applied to an L3VNI context with the main purpose to secure VTEP to VTEP traffic inside the EVPN VXLAN fabric. So just to represent this more as a basic use case, as you can see in this diagram, so we have two VTEPs, VTEP1 and VTEP2. Each have VNI 10 with VLAN 10. So if you wanted to restrict traffic between these two VTEPs, all you really need to do is apply the ACL to VLAN 10. However, traffic going out the other end to this destination 192.168.20.10 that is reached through an L3VNI. So prior to 10.14, the only option that we had was to specify a classifier policy to filter traffic. But now with 10.14, 0001, an ACL may be applied to the L3VNI context to secure that traffic inside the fabric. And so this applies to routed traffic inside the L3VNI. A VLAN ACL may be used in cases where filtering of traffic inside the L2VNI is required, which would be the example that you see here for VTEP1 and VTEP2. If you wanted to restrict traffic between these two VTEPs and these two hosts, then you can just apply a VLAN or apply an ACL directly to the VLAN. But in the case of routed traffic, you have to apply the ACL to the L3VNI, as you see pictured here. Important to note, so it might be a little confusing because in normal non-VXLAN environments, a routed in ACL would be all that's really needed to restrict access for traffic that's arriving from a routed subnet. But with L3VNI, it's a little bit special in that it has internal structures or VLANs that get mapped. So you can't specify a router ACL in this case that would be applied to SVI 20. It has to be an L3VNI to match these rules correctly. And so for the L3VNI, only one direction routed in and type of ACL, IPv4 or IPv6 can be applied to an L3VNI at any time. Two applied ACLs of the same type and direction simply replaces the currently applied ACL. And so this is the configuration syntax that you see up here that we applied to VTEP3, where we entered the VNI context, the VRF context, and applied the access list directly to for both the IP-based traffic and the IPv6-based traffic. Use cases, as we mentioned, to match on routed in traffic between the L3VNIs over the EVPN VXLAN tunnels. And so the customer benefits are improved security within the EVPN VXLAN fabric. And an ACL may be preferred by some admins over classifier policies as you get object group mappings and ACL logging features for the ACL approach to this that you don't get with just simply providing the classifier policy equivalents. And so for the supported platforms, as you see here, the CX 6300, 64, 8100, and 8360 supports this configuration of the access list within the L3VNI context. Okay, and so that's pretty much the overview for this feature, which is the ACL applied to the L3VNI, and I hope this has been helpful, and thank you.